Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. Welcome to Nixie Bob's. First of all, can we just all say it's my birthday? No, it's really not good. I actually feel old this birthday, and I'm not even going to divulge what my age is. I'm just going to tell you in my 20s. More importantly, I teased this, and it's about time we did it because it was released a couple of days ago. We finally have a fuller length Thunderbirds Argo Season 2, Series 2, whichever side of the border you're on, trailer. A few of you requested that I try like hell to do the 10-second one, but that's kind of impossible. How can I review 10 seconds? Like, it's hard enough going to do a minute. So the first thing I thought I'd do, I've seen these a few times, but I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to rewatch both right now. And then we're going to talk about them, because quite honestly, normally with this kind of thing, as I do with any Thunderbirds episode I cover, I will normally watch the episode, take notes, plan it, and I got nothing. I've literally got nothing. I've got no notes, no plans. So we are going to do what's commonly known as winging it. And there may be things missed out, there may be teasers missed out, there may be you guys have seen, there may be a few things I miss. I am going to do my absolute best with this. I may screw it up, and I'm sorry about that. I'm also very, very sleep deprived. I've probably had about 4 hours sleep, and I'm knackered. There's no other way of saying it. I'm exhausted, but it's fine. I will cope, and I will get more sleep next week. It's all good. So we're going to start with the teaser trailer, which was the small 16-second one. Now I'm going to keep the sound low because obviously I don't want to get any copywriting issues or anybody saying, oh, you know, you're stealing content. So I'm going to keep the sound quite low, and then we're going to go, I'll try and give a few seconds on this, but then primarily we're going to go straight onto the main one that was released a few days ago. And then we're going to discuss that because there's already a few points I definitely want to make. So here we go for the first one, which is approximately 17 seconds long. Okay, so our two main excitement things from that were the hat and the TB, or is it TV or TV21? I know someone said that's a link to another Jerry Anderson show, but for me, the hat was everything. Just seeing that little old classic Thunderbirds hat was just everything in everything of that trailer. The hat. It's all about the hat. That's really all I've got going, because obviously all we really had in that one was the hood saying, if you thought I was bad, wait till you see what's coming next. And it's only on this trailer now, and obviously through a few little teasers on Facebook, that we've come to know that we're going to have a new villain. So let's go with our 1 minute 16 one, and then we'll talk about the thing as a whole, and I will try to remember and mention as much as I can on this.
Hoodie boy threatening the Colonel. No, this isn't good, John. Oh, first sight of him. The mechanic. TV21 Colonel Jeff Tracy.
Shining Eye of the Hood.
Thunderbird 2, Thunderbird 1 crashing.
That's officially both trailers watched again. So let's really think about this as a whole. So I think the first thing we've really got to talk about is the fact that while the hood is present, we've got a big new evil in this series called the Mechanic. And I'm not sure if I'm on board with that yet. That was the one thing. I've always credited myself as being quite open-minded on as a fan of the Thunderbirds. Obviously, as I said before, it's harder for someone from my dad's generation to accept a new thing like this. I think it was hard for my dad to accept the CGI Captain Scarlet, as amazing as I quite liked that and thought that it was. He could not deal with it. Similarly, he couldn't deal with this, as I've mentioned before. But the hood has always been our main and primary and only real villain in the Thunderbird series. So to create this whole new character called the Mechanic, I'm kind of sitting on a fence about it, going, why not just get the hood breaking out of jail and do it again? I guess it's repetitive, but we enjoyed the repetitiveness of the hood constantly berating the Thunderbirds and trying to either kill them, destroy them, learn their secrets, nick their money, nick their crafts, do all of that stuff that we knew. I've seen a few little different rumours about the hood. I've seen a few little different rumours about the mechanic. The main one that sticks to mind, and it's kind of a bit out there, someone said, and it's mainly I think because he uses a voice distorter, is it actually a he? Someone said that the mechanic seems to have the same sort of look and eye colour and skin tone as Brains. Obviously Brains, we know, has a different nationality kind of in this series than he did in the original, which is totally cool. I've gotten more used to the Brains voice than I had before. I think when it first came out I just couldn't adapt. I've definitely gotten used to it, but I really want them to exaggerate his stammer in this series. As I said before, that is a huge thing for me, is that stammer of Brains. I want it exaggerated. But then someone also said, what if the Hood isn't a man but a woman? What if he is like Brains' sister? That was kind of a far out little one that I've heard, but it's kind of mentally genius because obviously the picture we've seen of the mechanic, he/she is damn strong, quite muscular, love the tattoos. I love that they're kind of showing kids art on skin because it's so much more of a common thing and so more widely and accepted in society that it's a good thing to really see that to kids and just show them, you know, you can have tattoos and they can be what they want, but I don't want tattoos to kind of be shown as being the evil villainous type thing, if that makes sense. I love tattoos, I'm sorry. So having a completely new villain that we've never ever seen before, I think is going to be a big deal. It certainly feels a big deal to me, and I really want to know how a lot of you guys feel about it. Obviously anyone who's followed me from the start of doing this last year will know that obviously I'm a lifelong fan. Obviously not from the very start, my dad was from the very start, and maybe to anyone new who's going to start watching or maybe who finds this, I'm a very, very old school fan, but I watched this and definitely enjoyed quite a lot of the episodes. I don't know how I feel. I think I need to see the guy in action and then properly judge, but the outset of it is, I'm not sure. I'm really, really not sure. The second thing that really sticks to mind is that brief shot of the Hood with the lit up eye. Are they really going to bring his power to us? Can you imagine if they finally brought that psychic power and to everybody? Could you imagine if they did that? How much would every old school fan out there just mark the hell out for a few minutes? In case anyone doesn't know, marking out as a wrestling term, it means just, you know, celebrating that particular thing. You know? I really hope they do it. It's something that I've been wanting to see. I think they hesitated on that because I think it's harder to incorporate that kind of magic and that kind of element of sci-fi into a more modern day show. It's not, unless you're watching fantasy, I think it's harder to incorporate it. So I kind of get why they left it out, but I would love to see them bring it in. It could just be that maybe the Hood's going to be some sort of robot, or that would be kind of crazy, but some sort, I don't know. But if they actually brought in his powers, that would just make me feel so incredibly crazy as a fan. It really, really would. And I'm gonna hope that that's what happens, and I'm gonna hope that's what comes of that. Here is the shot I was talking to you guys about. Hoodie boy with his eye glowing. That shot is just so important. It makes it look like he is imprisoned by the clothes he's wearing, but we're also seeing that old-fashioned spark of the eye, but it also looks slightly robotic. So it could be that maybe the Hood was replaced with the mechanic's robots. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. You guys asked me to guess, I'm guessing. No, Ned, Tedman and Gladys are back. Why would you do it? Why would you bring them back in? Ah! So there's a few shots of Thunderbird 3 going around, I think probably by the look of it on another planet, probably Mars. I'm going to go out and say they're Mars because it was red and it was like sandy, so I'm assuming it's a hot planet like Mars. That's obviously going to come into as a rescue later. For Alan tracing, I'm going to get into this when I do a big series preview, when we fully know the date that it's going to come. I want Alan to not be 4.5 men, and you know that was an ongoing complaint of mine from the original series when we started doing these. Just don't make Alan a school kid anymore. He's passed through school, he's graduated, and he's now a full Thunderbird and not just 4.5 men, okay? Lot of explosions in this trailer, and I think that's creating a lot of excitement. I'm kind of half expecting them to do some big massive opening episode with everyone involved, which is something you guys know I like to see, with lots of explosions, lots of tension, lots of bang 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 danger. They've obviously got to introduce the mechanic. The mechanic was also seen coming through the telecoms with the guys back at base, obviously having hacked it. We don't know how, because obviously John in the space station is quite strong with this kind of stuff, and the technology is obviously pretty damn strong to be able to resist sort of anyone else getting in. So the mechanic's obviously quite a smart guy slash girl. Grandma Tracy is still in that damn onesie. Ah! Grandma Tracy is still in that damn onesie. Ah! So from the look of the mechanic, there's a lot of elements to really explore about him, and I love the mohawk, but a lot of the time with what I'm seeing in the image, I kind of get the feeling that he's more of an aquatic kind of baddie. You know, it seems like he's wearing a breather a lot, like goggles, a lot of swimming gear and life jackets. So we could see Gordon Tracy really hit out in this and be sort of the main pursuer, I guess, of the mechanic. Maybe, we're speculating. To a point, he kind of looks like he belongs in a mine as well. So there's really a lot to really get to know about this character before we sort of look, as I'm doing it now, and go, the Hood's the only villain we want to see. You got to be open-minded. I'm trying to be open-minded, but obviously the Hood is the #1 villain in the Thunderbirds for me, and always will be. There's one particular thing I've just actually noticed. I'm kind of flicking through the trailer second by second as I go through things, just to try and get a few screen grabs. We've got a shot here of Parker, Penelope, Gordon and Virgil and someone in a woolly hat, looking like they're hiding behind a part of Fab 210, don't know which. And I've actually just noticed that Gordon had his arm around Lady Penelope, furthering the little spark of romantic attraction that we had hinted in the last series. I'm really on board with this. I'd like to see Penelope have sort of, you can't have a fling in a PG or U show, but like have sort of a relationship of sorts, innocent, cute and sweet, with one of the Tracy brothers. I always thought that Penny would get it off with Jeff. That was kind of always what I thought was going to happen. Obviously, we may have Jeff in this series, we may not. I know not yet. None of you know yet. We've only had one gentle hint of Jeff, and we're getting onto that. There's also a craft pursuing Fab 1, a flying version of Fab 1. To a point, it looks like it could be Thunderbird Shadow, but it also looks like perhaps it's chasing Fab 1. So that could be another one of the mechanic's crafts. Obviously, we're not, judging by some of the shots that we've seen, it looks like the mechanic has a hell of a lot of tech. Could be that I'm just seeing Thunderbird Shadow here, maybe tailing them to protect them. So I think this is what a lot of us are excited about, and you'll have to excuse my window there. That little shot there of the hint of Jeff Tracy. We knew at the start of series 1 that Jeff was not going to be included in this. I've not heard anything to say that he isn't going to be included in this, but obviously if we're going to have a series of the guys trying to find Jeff and finding his ship and trying to find where the hell he's gone, then it could be that it's a whole big build up until those last few episodes of the series again, which obviously won't be out until 2017. We've been waiting so long for this series, literally since the start of the year. So obviously they're going to build it up and build it up. Now, whether they're going to have a series break yet, I don't know. But obviously, unless they kind of put it in the series break, the obvious answer is that it's going to be the end of the series, big finale moment where they're all reunited, possibly with evil intentions as well. We don't know. If the Hood has his power, how do I know he's not hypnotized Jeff Tracy, you know? We've got two big main excitements in the fact that we've seen Thunderbird 2 crash landing, and we've also seen Thunderbird 1 spiralling down to the ground as well, with smoke coming from it. I love seeing a Tracy brother in danger. I know that sounds really mean, but I love seeing them put in those life-threatening situations. It makes me more emotionally attached to the character. So to have that kind of thing, I mean, we've had that before. There was an episode, and I can see it in my head, where Scott is shot out of the sky. It's not the imposters. It's It may be the uninvited. I've got a feeling it's the uninvited, where you have them weird space creatures and you've got, they help Scott when he falls down and he's hanging out of Thunderbird 1 there. And then obviously we had Terror in New York City, where Virgil was shot out of the sky by the forces of the USA because they didn't know it was a Thunderbird craft. So we have had things like that before. Maybe they're going to be redoing Terror in New York City and we're actually seeing the original kind of crash of Thunderbird 2. Let's keep that one in mind. Again, there's a random little thing to say here, but I think there's been a lot of speculation about odd characters like these two guys that are in a submarine. There's been a lot of talk about who characters are and aren't. I'm not going to speculate on those guys just yet. I'm more speculating on what I can see as opposed to what I think I can see, if that makes sense. Similarly, there was talk about these two as well, just to show you the screen grab of those. If anyone's got any ideas or kind of theories or even names, do comment with them, because I would love to know what you have to think, and maybe you know a little bit more than me. I know that someone may know a little bit more than me out there, but there's a particular shot of a very worried Virgil and Gordon Tracy in Thunderbird 2 there. Got a couple of shots of Thunderbird 5 looking like it's being pursued by something. Thunderbird 3, definitely on another planet, possibly the moon, with all different steam bubbles coming up from it. That's definitely going to be an episode all special. Perhaps it's not going to be anything perhaps that connects to the main plot of the series. Here's the shot, as mentioned, of Thunderbird 2 falling and crashing. I'm guessing, as I say, maybe they're going to do the episode of moving the Empire State Building. I'd like to see that one redone. I think that would be an interesting one to maybe handle, because I think that was a really good episode, and we have actually done the original of that episode as a vintage review, so that one will definitely be one that perhaps and hopefully we see, because I think that would be a bit of a crowd pleaser, much like Fire Flash was when they remade episode 1. And there is our brief shot of Thunderbird 1 crashing down to a very snowy looking ground. And that is the basis of the trailer. There's a lot of excitement by the look of it in this series, but I think our main focus is who's the mechanic, why have you replaced the hood, what's he doing, is he Carano? That's another one I've heard. Is he Carano? That's another one. But to be fair, I feel like they've used KO Tintin enough in the first series for messing with her and making the hood kind of go after her because he is her uncle. I feel like repeating that with that being her dad maybe would be a little bit of a repetition. I don't think we need to see that again. It would be interesting if it was Carano though, because if the hood has his powers, maybe he was the one who was responsible for Jeff going missing and he hypnotized Carano to become the mechanic, and Jeff's locked away in some cabin somewhere having been held hostage for such a long time. I don't know. Again, we're just having fun, and this is my mind speculating to accumulate. Who knows what the hell's going on? That was both Thunderbirds trailers in one go. I was hoping to only do a quick video, but I've babbled on for about 20 minutes now. Have I missed anything? Is there anything I haven't mentioned? Is there anything you guys need to tell me? Do leave me comments. Obviously, when we get a closer date to when Thunderbirds Our Go Series 2 is going to be released, we will have the week before a big preview show. We'll probably have a few facts released about it by then, so I'll know a little bit more. Thank you for being here and watching this quick trailer review. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd love to have you along. Obviously, once the series has begun, I routinely review the episodes, sometimes not as quickly as I'd like. I try my very best. Sometimes they come out Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Sometimes they come out Monday, Tuesday. It's whenever I've got a few minutes to just quickly review them. I will do my absolute best, and I will see everyone again for more Thunderbirds previews. I am gonna try to do the Stately Home Robberies before the new series comes out. That is going to be our last vintage review until we either get a series break or an end of series for this series, and that is the way we're going to do things. I will see everyone again for anything else that's coming up in this life. Bye everyone.